Hello and welcome to Yoga, Pilates, and Stretching with Ann. Today's class is going to be an approximately 60-minute flow class with a lot of stretching of the hips and the legs. So let's get started. You'll need a strap and you might need a block or a couple of blocks or a couple of pillows if you need to support your legs in butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. So let's get started. We're gonna start laying down with our knees bent. Have your blocks or your pillows nearby, as well as your strap. You can use a yoga strap, or this is my 80s belt. I like the color. It's from a long, long time ago. Or you can use any type of a exercise thing for your strap. So we're going to start with our centering pose on our back with our knees bent. Just take a moment to have your heels towards your glutes, towards your sits bones. And tuck your shoulders down. So lift your chest, tucking your shoulder blades together and your shoulders down. Take a moment to just lift your hips and lengthen your lower back and release your hips back down. Your hands can be on your belly for the centering pose or by your side, palms up. Doesn't matter, whatever's comfortable for you. Just try to find a comfortable pose on your back. Now, the option today for the centering pose is to have your knees bent, and you can have your feet to the side, allowing your knees to rest in towards each other. Or you can place your legs, open your knees wide, place the soles of your feet together, and your feet can be as far away from your body as is comfortable. And then you're opening your knees, allowing gravity to open your knees to the side, getting a stretch in your inner thighs, allowing those legs to open up. You can always take 2 blocks or 2 pillows and support your thighs if this is uncomfortable for you. But if it's comfortable for you, I would suggest you placing your heels together, your soles of your feet together, tucking your shoulders, lengthening your lower back, and just allowing your hips to open up to the side, allowing your arms to open to the side or rest on your belly, and then just begin, as usual, in your centering pose, the first pose of the practice, to begin to breathe in through your belly, through your nose, filling your belly, and out through your nose. Take 3 full deep breaths. And on the exhale, completely expelling your breath, completely releasing. And then take that 3rd deep full breath, filling your belly, filling your chest. And releasing. And then begin to breathe normally through your nose, visualizing your breath going in and out. Maybe slowly counting your breath as it goes in and out of your body. Either focusing or counting or visualizing your breath. And with each exhale, trying to release and relax your body. Release your head to the mat. Release your facial muscles, your jaw. Release your shoulders and your arms. Notice what part of your body is releasing and touching the mat. The back of your head, the back of your shoulders, your back ribs, your hips, the outside edges of your feet, maybe your upper arms. Continue to breathe and focus on your breath as you quiet your body and quiet your mind. Prepare yourself for the practice ahead. Part of the benefits of yoga are to be able to shut out the outside world, to forget about what happened before our practice, to forget about what's going to happen later on today or tonight after our practice. The goal is to really focus on your body, focus on your mat, focus on yourself. Quiet your mind and prepare for the practice ahead. Let's take one more deep, deep breath in through your nose. This time exhaling out through your mouth, expelling every last drop of breath. Inhaling again through the nose, deeply filling up the belly, filling up the chest, expanding the chest, and then exhaling out of the mouth, completely expelling all the air. One more time, deep, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really get every bit out. And then begin to open your eyes, wake up your body, bring one knee up, foot on the ground, the other knee up, foot on the ground. Then move your hips from side to side. Roll from side to side. And then take your legs and extend them out wide on the edges of your mat, or even feet beyond the edges of your mat. Reach your arms overhead and out to the side at an angle. I want you to take this pose, this 5-pointed star pose, and think about just taking up a lot of space, reaching your fingertips out at an angle from your shoulders, reaching your legs out at an angle. Spread your fingers, hover your arms just above the mat. Reach your legs out, heels on the mat, but legs are active. Flex the feet, spread the toes. Really take up a lot of space as you stretch in this figure 5. And then begin to rotate your wrists and your ankles. Rotate your feet, rotate your hands in your 5-star pose. So you're stretching and rotating, spreading your fingers, spreading your toes as you really create some movement in your arms, at your wrist, in your fingers, in your feet. Put your whole arms into it, your whole foot into it, and then reverse those circles, reverse in the other direction, your feet and your hands, really taking the motion as far as you can take it and feel comfortable, still stretching the arms away, still stretching those legs away from you. And then bring it to stillness, bring the pause to stillness. And just reach around with your arms, giving yourself a nice big hug. So wrap your arms around yourself, one arm over the other, And hold on as far as you can to your shoulder blades or your shoulders, and just roll gently from side to side, allowing your head to move to the side, your upper body to move to the side. Your hips are still on the ground, your legs are still on the ground. And then notice which arm is on top, open wide again, spreading those arms, those fingers, and reverse the arm that's on top. Once again, hugging, squeezing, and rolling from side to side on your shoulder blades, moving your head from side to side. Now take those arms overhead, resting the forearms on the mat as you grab your opposite elbow with the opposite hand. So you're framing your head with your arms. You have your arms in a square, resting your forearms on the mat. I'm going to ask you to take your right leg and bend it over your left leg, crossing at the ankle. So your legs are off of the mat to the side, and then I'm going to ask you to bring your left elbow towards your feet. So your feet are off to the left side of the mat, and you're bringing your upper body, your head, your neck, your shoulders off to the left. And you're creating a C curve, stretching the right side of your body. This is called banana pose or bananasana, and it's a side stretch. Try to relax in this stretch, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your head, relaxing your arms and your feet, but feeling the stretch in the side of your body, in your hips. If you feel any pain or discomfort, as always, back off of the pose and move your feet in a little bit or your shoulders in a little bit. But if you can, take a breath or two here. Feeling the stretch in the right side of your body as you relax in your bananasana pose. And then uncross your right leg, bring it out wide. Bring your head, neck, and shoulders back to center. And then switch which arm is on top and which is on the bottom. So switch your grasp of your shoulders. And then take that left leg and cross it over the right. If you need to, bring that right leg back a little bit, but keep your legs long as you have them stretch over towards the right. And then bring your upper body, your shoulders, your arms over towards the left, getting that stretch on the left side. Moving your legs and your upper body towards the right. So again, you've got this C curve going here. You've got a stretch going in the left side of your body this time. And now I want you to breathe and try to release and relax into the stretch. Notice if you feel any sensation in your hips, in your shoulders, and try to breathe into that sensation and relax into it. One more breath. And then uncross your left leg, bring your legs out wide, come back to center with your shoulders, with your head. Open your arms wide, once again, stretching your fingers, stretching your legs out in five-pointed star, taking one stretch. And now we're going to bend the knees and bring the knees into the belly, taking a nice knee hug, maybe rolling from side to side, massaging that lower back. Maybe moving your head from side to side, whatever feels good to you in your knee hug. And let's just take our hands on our knees and just roll our knees in a circle. Just a few times. And then in the other direction, massaging our lower back, moving our legs around in our hips. And now we're going to take our legs, lift them up as we begin to roll up, using your legs to roll and roll. One more roll, and then come to standing in the middle of your mat. However way you get there is fine with me. So your feet are hips width apart. Shoulders are over your hips. We're going to do some sun salutations next. We're going to inhale our arms up. Breathing, reaching, stretching. Take a slight back bend, really tiny back bend, lifting your chin, moving your fingertips maybe a few inches back. Come back to center. Exhale as you dive forward, reaching your arms out and over, taking a half lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, open your arms wide, inhaling up. Once again, stretching, fingertips up, taking a slight back bend, lifting your heart up, rolling your shoulders back and down, coming back to center, and then diving forward on your exhale. Let's pause for a moment in your forward fold. Arms are hanging, head is hanging. Once again, grab your opposite elbow with your opposite hand. Take a moment to frame your head with your arms. Your forearms, your upper arms should be by your ears. Your head should be relaxed. If it's not, just gently shake it yes and no. From side to side, yes and no. Allow your knees to be bent to protect your lower back in your forward fold, and then just gently move your upper body from side to side, swaying. Your arms, your head, your neck, your shoulder follows. Maybe one leg bends a little bit more than the other as you release and relax in your forward fold with bent knees, holding your opposite elbows. Pause for a moment in your forward fold, releasing your arms down, bending your knees just a little bit deeper, and reaching your arms out as you slowly come up. And I mean slowly, 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 reaching those arms up, lifting and lengthening, taking a slight back bend as you lift your heart, roll your shoulders back and down. Let's bring our arms out wide like we did in our five-pointed star. Spread those fingers. And then dive forward, reaching forward with the crown of our head, allowing our head to release and relax towards the floor. This time, we're going to walk our hands forward, bend our knees, walk our feet back, and find your down dog. So take a moment, find your down dog. Feet are hips width apart, hands, fingers spread wide, arms shoulder width apart. Your hips are lifted. Your knees are bent. If you're protecting your lower back, always keep those knees bent a little bit. The heels are reaching towards the floor. The elbows are bent slightly. And our shoulders are coming away from our ears. Shoulder blades down the back and together in our down dog. Take a moment in your down dog, tucking your belly towards your spine, lifting your hips, pressing into all portions of your hands to protect your wrists. Take a deep breath in your down dog, and then begin to walk your hands slowly towards your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, bring your arms out wide, and come back to the center of your mat. We're going to grab those opposite elbows again as we inhale, lifting from the crown of our head, rolling our shoulders back and down, and then coming to one side, getting a nice stretch. You can actually pull those elbows away from each other as you hold onto them with your hands. You can look slightly in front of your forearm up towards the ceiling if that feels good on your neck. Just try to stay to the side, not leaning forward, not leaning back too far, but just stay in those two panes of glass, getting a stretch on both sides of your body. Take a breath here as you feel the stretch. And then inhale back to center, rolling those shoulders back and down. Lengthening, taking a moment. Inhaling as you lengthen, and then exhaling as you come to the other side, getting a nice stretch on the other side, pulling those elbows apart as you maybe look forward of that upper arm towards the ceiling, maybe lifting your chin, getting a gentle stretch. Once again, pulling those elbows apart, rolling those shoulders back and down. Inhaling back to center. Let's take a slight back bend. So you're going to roll your shoulders back and down, lift your heart up, tuck your belly in, and maybe lift your chin and look back. Taking a slight back bend. Don't scrunch up in your lower back. Keep it lengthened. Press into those feet. Really lengthen in the legs, pulling the ribs away from your waist. Rolling your shoulders back and down as you lift your heart. Inhale back to center. Release your hands and dive forward once again. Spreading your arms. Inhaling to your half lift. Exhaling to your forward fold. And walk your hands out. Walk your feet back and find your down dog once again. Feet hips width apart. Fingers spread wide. Now we're going to bring our big toes to touch at the back of our mat. And we're going to lift the left leg up behind us. Toes pointing down, heel pointing up. Try to keep your hips centered on the mat. As you lift that leg a little bit higher, bringing your chest closer towards that standing leg. Lifting, 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 and then bend at the lifted knee and open up to the side. Stacking those hips, looking under the left arm, getting a nice stretch. Take a breath here. And then on the next inhale, straighten that knee, square those hips, and bring that knee underneath of you towards your nose and in between your hands in a high lunge. However you want to get to that high lunge, you can help that foot come up there. You can place that knee in the back. Just find your high lunge, however way you can get there. The front knee is over the ankle. The hands are on the floor or on blocks if you want to hold yourself up a little bit higher. That back leg is straight and the knee can be off of the floor if that's comfortable for your pose, or you can place that back knee on the floor. Just take a moment to really lengthen, look down at your front toes, lengthen from the crown of the head forward, press back with that back heel, and really lengthen in your body, in your spine, in that back leg. Take a moment here in your high lunge, and then place that knee down, or keep it up if that's in your practice, and we're gonna bring our hands to our front thigh, our front knee. We're gonna hinge our hips forward, lifting our heart, rolling our shoulders back and down, and if it feels comfortable to you, release your hands and lift them up. Again, you can be up off of that back knee if that's in your practice, or you can keep that knee down, your choice, your practice. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders back and down in your high lunge, and then release your hands back down to the mat. Let's walk that front foot off to the side of your mat, and then bring that outside hand on the inside. So your hands are on the inside of your front leg, and you're gonna find your lizard pose. So this is lizard pose, and there are a lot of choices you can do in lizard pose. You can stay right here on your hands. You can come down onto your forearms like this, or you can use your blocks and come down, forearms on the blocks. Whatever is comfortable for you, find your lizard pose, either on your hands, on your forearms, on your blocks, on your forearms, and try to keep that knee above the ankle, keep the knee facing up towards the ceiling. Release your head, your neck, your shoulders on the inside of that front leg as you stretch in your lizard pose. Take a breath here. Back off or come out of the pose if it's painful for you or too uncomfortable, but if you can, take another breath. And then come on to the outside forearm or hand, lifting the other arm up towards the knee, and roll onto the outside of that front foot. Just gently, very gently, press in and twist to the side in your lizard pose. This is lizard twist. So you're facing that front bent knee. You're rolling your hips to the side. You can either look to the side, look down, or look up at the ceiling, whatever feels good to you today. Just try to gently roll on the outside of that foot. If this hurts your ankle or your leg in any way, come back to lizard pose or go to child's pose, your choice. Let's just take another breath in this stretch, maybe trying to take it, lengthen from the crown of our head, tailbone back, shoulders open and wide, shoulder blades together in the twist. Take another breath. Ooh, this is really twisting my hips. And come back to center. One more breath in your lizard pose with your knee facing towards the ceiling. And then slowly, gently coming up out of your lizard pose. If you use some blocks, move your blocks out of the way. Walk that front foot back to center. Bring that outer hand back. And then bring this foot back into kneeling. Once again, come up, find your down dog. Take a moment. Adjust your feet. Adjust your hips, your hands, your arms, your head. Maybe gently shake your head yes and no. We're going to get all of that, of course, on the other side. Bring your toes to touch at the back of your mat. Lift the other leg, the right leg up, behind you. Toes down, heels up. Really press in to your hands as you lift your leg higher, bringing your chest towards your legs. Hips parallel to the floor. Now you're going to bend that lifted knee and you're going to look to the side. As you stack your hips, allowing that foot to fall to the opposite hip. Take a breath here. And then inhale as you come back to center, lifting that leg up high. And then bringing that leg underneath of you and foot between your hands. Take a moment, get it up there however you can, and take a moment using either your blocks or your hands or your fingertips on the mat, stretching in your high lunge. Back leg is straight, heel pressing back, front knee is over the front ankle. Hinging the hips forward, rolling the shoulders back and down, really lengthening from the crown of the head forward as you look down at your toes in your high lunge. Again, you can bring that knee down to the mat, down to the floor, whenever you want to. But if you can, one more breath in your high lunge. And then you can bring that knee down or keep it up, your choice. Bring your hands up to your knee. Hinge your hips forward, lift your heart, roll your shoulders back and down. And then if it feels comfortable to you, release your hands and lift them up over your shoulders. Maybe take a little back bend, lifting your heart, hinging your hips forward. Again, you can be on your back knee or you can be on the ball of your back foot. Your choice, your practice. Inhale, stretch. And then on the exhale, release those hands down. Walk that foot to the outside edge of the mat, to the right side of the mat. Bring your hands inside for your lizard pose. Once again, you can use your blocks or you can stay up on your hands. You can come down onto your forearms or come down on your blocks, on your forearms. Your choice, your practice. Try to keep your elbows under your shoulders. Try to relax your head, neck, and shoulders. As you breathe into the stretch, feeling the hip flexor stretch. You can even walk that knee back a little bit further if you want a deeper stretch. Take a nice breath here. And then for the twist, you can come up onto your right hand, placing your right hand on the inside of the right thigh and rolling on to the outside of the foot. And I'll move my block so you can see this. I'm rolling onto the outside of my right foot and I'm twisting my body to the side, keeping my shoulders open, keeping length in my legs, slightly getting a deeper stretch on that hip. Again, if this hurts in any way, come back to lizard pose or go into child's pose. But try to stretch to the side, chest facing the side wall, knee coming a little bit towards the side wall. Take another breath here as you stretch. And then inhale, back to center, placing your hands down, bringing your knee back up. One more breath in your lizard. And then walking your foot back to center, bringing that right hand to the outside of the right foot, and then bringing that foot back into your table pose. Now we're going to find child's pose or balasana. Your choice. You can keep your knees hips width apart, or you can spread your knees wide for your child's pose, toes together. You pick your child's pose, hinge your hips back, release your forehead down to the mat, to a block, to a pillow, to your hands, wherever is comfortable for you. Just rest and release into your child's pose. As you're resting, as you're releasing, notice how your hips feel. We've already done quite a few stretches to open those hips. Now try to release your hips down, relaxing them, taking a little bit of a break before we continue with the practice. Taking your favorite balasana pose. If you haven't already taken the balasana tutorial, you might want to go back and look at the video for that. It's a short video, but gives you a lot of options with props and different poses in addition to child's pose. Let's take one more breath, releasing, maybe opening and closing your jaw, relaxing into your child's pose. Now let's slowly come out of child's pose. Once again, finding your down dog by bringing your hands forward, curling your toes under, lifting your hips, and finding your down dog. Let's really lengthen in the down dog. Now that we're warmed up a little bit, let's maybe lift our hips a little higher, spread our sits bones, maybe really roll those shoulders away from our ears, lengthening from the tips of our fingers to our shoulders, from the top of our head to our tailbone, from our hips to our heels, just lengthening and straightening into our down dog. Inhale into plank pose, shoulders over wrists, pressing into your fingers, your fingertips, the outer edges of your palms, your thumbs. Exhale and come into down dog once again, lifting your tailbone, stretching like dogs do. And then inhale once again, hinging forward into your plank pose. Take a moment in your plank, tuck your belly up. Really pressing into your hands, lengthening from the crown of your head forward, heels back, legs strong, and then exhale into your down dog. Once again, straightening, lengthening, lifting those hips. Now we're going to inhale forward, and it's up to you. You can bring your knees down to the mat and bend your elbows in and come down, or you can chaturanga down if that's in your practice. Just find your way to your belly. Tuck your elbows in. Hands are under your shoulder. Take a baby cobra. Make sure your legs are lengthened and the tops of your feet are on the floor as you lift your chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, looking down at the mat, lengthening from the crown of your head, toes pointed and lengthened behind you. I want those legs active. So you're on the tops of your feet, but your knees are lifted. Your thighs are active. Inhale again, pressing into below your belly button, shoulders back. Baby cobra again. Exhaling, lengthening forward. One more time, inhaling up. And this time we're going to take our hands forward, onto our elbows, onto our forearms, into Sphinx pose. So I want you to take a moment, making sure those elbows are under the shoulder, pressing the belly down, lengthening the feet behind you, finding your Sphinx pose, rolling your shoulders back and down, chest forward. If this is too much for you, you can always bring your arms forward and just stretch. But if you can, forearms on the ground, elbows under your shoulder, chest forward, really lengthening in your spine. Pause for a moment here. Legs are active. Breathing. And release down. Let's pause for a moment. We're going to come up in Sphinx pose one more time, but lengthen from the crown of the head. Lengthen your legs behind you. Lift one leg from the hip. Lengthen it and release it down. Lift the other leg. Lengthen it and release it down. Press into your hands. Elbows under the shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Find your Sphinx pose once again, or your baby cobra, or just stretch on your belly with your arms forward. Whatever is comfortable for you, this is your practice, this is your pose. Just try not to scrunch up in the lower back. We're trying to keep length. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing. It's always hard to breathe in these back bends, but it's really beneficial to stretch and get that breath in there. And then slowly release down. One hand on the other, elbows out to the side. Release your head, your forehead on your hands. Bend your knees. And just gently sway your feet from side to side. Windshield wipe your feet. Releasing your lower back, releasing your hips. From side to side. Now bring those legs to stillness. Release them down. Lift your head, bring your hands under your shoulders, and once again press up onto your hands and knees and find your child's pose. So you're hinging back, finding your favorite child's pose. Knees can be together, hips width apart or wide on your mat. Once again, you can use your block or your pillow or your hands under your head as you rest and take your counter pose, child's pose, for those back bends that we just did. Breathing into your ribs, to your lower back. On the exhale, releasing and relaxing your head, your neck, your shoulders. One more deep breath and releasing down. Now let's go onto our back once again. Grabbing your strap as you come onto your back, just making sure it's nearby. Let's take a knee hug before we do our leg stretches. Just bring your knees in, roll from side to side, whatever feels good to you. And then release those legs down, knees bent. Grab the strap, whatever type of strap you have. If you don't even have a strap or a belt or a yoga strap, just find a long towel and roll it up and use it, whatever works for you. And bring that left knee in, strap up the left leg. So your strap, the middle of your strap is going to the ball of the bottom of your foot, and you're holding on to that strap, releasing your head, your neck, your shoulders as you straighten that left leg, flexing the foot, gently pulling back on the strap. Now you may only get here. You may have really tight hamstrings, but if you can, straighten that leg as much as you can, flex that foot, press that heel up, and try to release and relax as you, my strap is a little short, my belt, my 70s belt is a little short, but try to release your shoulders, your forearms to the ground. As you gently pull those toes towards the back of your mat, gently getting the stretch on your hamstrings, behind your thighs, behind your leg. Now we're going to take both straps in the left hand, and we're going to reach the right hand out to the side as we open our leg out to the side, only as far as is comfortable to you. Trying to keep that foot flexed, the leg straight, as straight as you can. Maybe point your toes towards the mat and the heel up slightly if you can do that. Rotate that leg out, lifting the heel, lowering the toes, gently pulling on the strap so it comes maybe a little bit closer towards the back of your mat. This leg, the right leg, can be bent, or you can extend this leg as you stretch the other leg. Just try to keep both hips on the floor, both shoulders on the floor, as you stretch this leg away from you, pressing out with the heel, flexing with the toes, really activating that leg as you stretch. Again, you don't want to pull any muscles, you don't want to pull your groin, so you don't, you might be here today, you might be here, Your foot may be touching the floor, who knows? Everybody's different. Just take it to a nice, comfortable stretch. Never take it to pain. Never take it a little bit further, only to where it's comfortable. Inhale as you lift that strap back up. Take the strap in your other hand, in your right hand, as you reach the left hand out, and then cross that left leg across your body. So this time you're coming up off of your left hip, and you're rolling towards the right until your leg is approximately parallel to the floor. You're gently pulling back on the strap. You're trying to straighten your leg as much as you can. Twisting the hip off the floor. This hip comes off the floor, but your shoulders stay on the floor. Look to the opposite direction if that feels good. As you gently pull back the leg, pressing out with the heel, getting that stretch. Make sure you're breathing. And then on the next inhale, roll back as you lift that leg up. One more time, take the strap in both hands, gently get that stretch behind your leg, pressing up at the heel, straightening, lengthening, and then gently bend that knee, release the strap, and allow that foot to extend next to the other foot. Just take a moment to square your hips, close your eyes, and just notice how the legs feel, how the one leg that we just strapped feels, or stretched feels, how the other leg feels. And let's bend both knees again. And we're going to strap up the right leg this time on the ball of the right foot, lengthening, straightening that leg away from us, holding on to the strap. I'm going to use the other strap just so you can see how a longer strap works, or a stretchy strap works. You can hold on to the edges of the strap. You can release your forearms to the floor. You can gently pull back, flexing the foot, pressing up with the heel, straightening at the knee, gently pulling back as you stretch. And once again, you can lengthen the other leg out if that feels good to you, or you can keep it bent, your choice. Take a breath here as you tuck your shoulder blades under, lengthen in your neck, gently pull back on your strap, pressing away with your leg, almost like you're trying to stamp your foot on the ceiling. Flexing those toes towards the knees, pressing that heel up. And then take both straps in your right hand and open out to the side, rotating your foot so that your toes are facing down towards the mat. Your heel is facing slightly up, so you're rotating that leg. Keep the left hip on the ground for this outer stretch, but gently tug on that strap, pulling those toes a little bit closer towards your head, towards your shoulder. And you can always look in the opposite direction with your head if that feels comfortable to you. Try to breathe as you press that heel away from you. Lengthen that leg away from you. Keep this other leg active if it's lengthened. Flex that foot. Take a deep breath. And on the next inhale, head back to center as you bring up that leg. Back to center, gently tug back. Place the straps in the other hand, in the left hand, as you cross the leg across your body. Lift the right hip up. Stretching, lengthening that leg. Trying to keep both shoulder blades on the mat. And you can look in the opposite direction of your leg. Just try to keep that foot flexed, pressing out with the heel, gently tugging on the strap. Feeling the stretch as you breathe. Take a deep breath. And on the next inhale, bring your head back to center. Your foot back to center, gently place the straps in both hands again. One more time, stretching, pressing up at the heel, flexing the foot, feeling that nice stretch in your leg. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend the knee, release the strap, and extend the leg. Take a moment, adjust your hips. Tuck your shoulder blades under and feel how both legs feel to you. And let's take a moment and bend both knees. Cross your right ankle over your left, just above your left knee for figure 4 stretch. So this may be a deep enough stretch for you, pressing on the inside of the right thigh, flexing that lifted foot. This might be enough for you, or if you want a deeper stretch, you can lift that left foot off the floor, reach behind for the behind your left thigh, or above or just below your left knee, pulling that knee in as you stretch. Maybe taking that right elbow, pressing out on the right thigh. You can release this left lower leg down, or if you like, you can straighten it up. Many options for figure 4 stretch. You can even grab the outside of this right foot as you pull the left leg in, getting a deeper stretch. You can move this figure 4 stretch gently from side to side or in a circle. Find the spot that feels good to you as you stretch. Flexing the feet. And then bend that left knee, release the foot to the floor, release the right foot down, and let's get that on the other side. So this time, the left ankle comes over the right knee. Take a moment to open that left knee out to the side, flex the left foot, press away with your hand on that thigh, gently getting a stretch. This might be enough for you today, or you might want to reach around and grab your thigh or your shin, pulling that knee in, maybe getting a deeper stretch, maybe using your right hand to pull the foot closer towards you. Keep that left foot flexed, and then move around if it feels comfortable for you, finding the stretch, the figure 4 stretch that works for you. This right lower leg can be released or relaxed down, or you can straighten it up, pressing up with the heel. Once again, getting a stretch in that leg, pulling it closer towards you. Figure 4 stretch. Breathe into the stretch. And on your next exhale, slowly release that right foot down, followed by the left foot. Keep your knees bent. And bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Arms out to the side, palms can be up or down. And then just slowly roll your knees to the right, and then up, and then over to the left. Keep going, gently rolling your knees from side to side. And if you like, you can add your head to that roll. Your head can match your knees, or it can roll in the opposite direction. Releasing and relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders, your legs, your hips. Rolling it out, releasing it out. Well, let's just take a moment to pause in the center, and then take a stretch that your body might want to take right now. You might want to take another stretch out in 5-star with your arms spread, your fingers spread, your toes spread. You might want to take a knee hug. Whatever your body feels like doing right now, take that stretch. You might want to take a happy baby if that's in your practice. Take a moment, take a few breaths, and take a nice stretch. Whatever your body wants to take that stretch. Might even be plow pose if that's in your practice. Take the stretch it out, listen to your body, and then once you've stretched out to your heart's desire, we're going to take a 5-minute Shavasana. And for those of you who aren't used to doing Shavasana, it's well worth taking a 5-minute Shavasana after a yoga practice, or a few minutes Shavasana after a yoga practice. It's also well worth tucking your shoulders under, bringing your arms out to your side, bringing your legs out wide, allowing your toes to release and relax. You may have another Shavasana pose that you prefer. Take that pose if you like, but if you can, tuck your shoulder blades down and under towards each other. Allow your head to release, allow your legs to release, your belly. Let's take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, expelling out through your mouth. 2 more, in through your nose and out through your mouth. 1 more deep breath and out. And as you expel that last breath, release your whole body. Release your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hips, your legs. Just let everything melt into your mat. Focus on your breath and enjoy your Shavasana. Make sure your eyes are closed. Your body's relaxed. rotating your hands at the wrists, your feet at the ankles. Gently bend your knees. And roll over onto your side. Left side if you want some energy for the rest of the day. Right side if you want to stay relaxed and released. Just curl your knees up. Relax your head, relax your arms, just for a few breaths. Taking a moment to thank yourself for doing this practice today. Thank yourself for your body and your mind and for the practice of yoga. And let's slowly extend that top leg. Use that top arm to press ourselves gently up and into an easy seated position, either kneeling or cross-legged, whatever feels comfortable for you. Let's take our shoulders up towards our ears and roll them back and down. Let's do that 2 more times. Roll those shoulders up, back and down, and up, back and down. Let's bring our arms out to the side, palms up. Inhale as we lift those arms up, taking in the breath, taking in, looking up between our hands, lengthening in our spine. Watching your hands touch and bringing those hands down to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me for this 1-hour yoga practice. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.